Hi everyone, it's Gary Nicholson here from the Mountain Weather Information Service. This is your planning outlook updated on Sunday evening, the 8th of September. Still a pretty unsettled looking trend for much of the week ahead. Indications are favouring higher pressure building later in the week and for next weekend and maybe onwards for some better weather. But before we get to that, there's some further heavy rain and the risk of gales or severe gales at times on the mountains. This chart shows you total rainfall this through until Friday, and it shows that it's Western Hills once again in the firing line for some high rainfall totals, picking out something like a couple of inches of rain across Western Scotland, around 50-60 mil, maybe a bit more than that if some of these heavier rain systems do just take longer to move through. Really across many Western Hills, even England and Wales, seeing an inch of rain or a bit more. And for Wales, most of that may well fall on Monday, with subsequent systems a bit more focused on Scotland. Lower rainfall totals further toward the east you go. Let's have a look through the charts then, and for Monday we've got a trough of low pressure and quite a complicated frontal system that's just drifting slowly eastwards. Some of the heaviest falls will be across Wales, mid and south Wales, the risk particularly of some thundery downpours onwards into Monday afternoon. The rain patchier but maybe steady for a good many hours across Scotland and northern England, tending to break up a bit as the day goes on, and eastern parts of the Pennines and maybe even the eastern side of the Highlands, not seeing a great deal but a lot of low cloud with not much wind around, everything moving around quite slowly through the course of the day. Things do move on though as we go into Tuesday as pressure builds from the southwest and those fronts really just get ripped apart in many respects. A legacy of murk and low cloud in the morning may take its time to clear for some, and a few remnant showers possible across the Pennines and Wales, but for most it's a dry day with cloud breaking towards higher tops. Now things go downhill quite quickly later on across the western side of Scotland as fronts come steaming in from the Atlantic. Southwesterly winds will strengthen to gale or severe gale force quite abruptly across those western mountains of Scotland later on in the day. Just watch your timing for that one, but at the very least by Tuesday evening and onwards into the night, widespread severe gales are expected across the Scottish mountains and gale force across most hills as this weather system does move in. It stays windy through into Wednesday with the likelihood of gale force winds across higher tops much of the day, although the worst of the severe gales likely to have gone through overnight. Heavy rain will have affected Western Scotland overnight too. Again, the worst of that may well have gone broadly by first light. Nevertheless, it stays a rather wet day across the Western Highlands with bits of fronts and a generally damp westerly airflow streaming in, so rain and drizzle, showery at times, coming in to those western hills for some frequent rainfall, low cloud across the mountains pretty much all day. Further east though, across the Highlands, better chance of staying drier for longer with some higher cloud breaks, and the rain tending to break up a bit as it moves through across England and Wales, again with cloud tending to lift with time. Now we'll need to keep a close eye on absolute timing through into Thursday. The next ripple of a frontal system will come steaming in. A rapidly changing situation then through Wednesday night into Thursday daytime. This wave feature has got the remnants of Hurricane Gabrielle that's currently across the mid-Atlantic, effectively following the remnants of Hurricane Dorian across the Atlantic, which will be more away towards Iceland through the middle part of the week. It's quite a squally feature then for a good few hours. The risk of severe gales across the mountains may be a relatively short window, but it could bring severe conditions at least part of the day, staying windy even once that's gone through. But the risk of being up to 60-70 miles per hour or more across the mountains for a spell. A heavy batch of rain on the cold front, followed by some showers, and temperatures will lower again. Signs of improvement as we go towards Friday as pressure begins to build from the southwest. We've still though got a trail of a front across northern Scotland most likely, and a brisk westerly that might still be not far off gale force across the higher tops at least for part of the day. So some low cloud, some rain and drizzle onto western hills, drier toward the eastern side of Scotland, relatively drier as well for England and Wales, with cloud a bit more broken here. But the likelihood is that this high will start to push ever further northwards as we go onwards into the weekend. So if we take a look at that bigger picture then, there's the high that begins to expand its way further north, extending from the Azores and across the British Isles, building northwards with time. The jet stream then deflected further away toward the north, so the Atlantic weather systems are not having as much to do with our part of the world. Looks as though there'll be a few fair days with lighter winds, chance of some early morning fog in low-lying parts, so some inversion conditions are possible. The exact final airflow as we go through the weekend onwards will be crucial in terms of whether we drag some low cloud into the mix. If the air is fairly humid and the airflow still comes somewhat out of the southwest, it could well be that western hills, particularly in Scotland, just get plagued with some banks of low-level cloud, which could form at various levels, depending on the day. If the high begins to move a bit further eastwards, we just open the door to some warmer air coming up from the south, so some pleasant days are quite possible as we head onwards into next week. It seems as though high pressure is going to be on the scene for a little spell through the middle part of September, so finally something quieter is looking likely. So some turbulent times ahead this week. Stay up to date with your local 3-day forecast updated every day on our website. We'll update the video again through midweek just to see what the details for the weekend and beyond are looking like. You can follow us on social media as well for some of the latest information. Thanks for watching this video today. Bye for now.